in the manicured sprawl of Willow Creek, where every lawn was clipped to perfection and mailboxes stood in lockstep, a storm was brewing. Tom Hayes, a former rodeo clown turned craft beer enthusiast, leaned against his porch railing sipping from a mason jar of homebrew. His wife Clara, once a fashion stylist in San Francisco, was pruning her heirloom roses with a defiance that matched the crimson shade of their backyard fuchsia color, explicitly banned by the Willow Creek Homeowners Association. Their daughter Sophie, a whip-smart 16-year-old, with a phone glued to her hand, was live-streaming the scene to her growing legion of followers. The fence, a bold middle finger to the HOA's taupe-only mandate, had drawn the eye of Victor Grayson, the clipboard-wielding enforcer of neighborhood conformity. Victor, a man who traded joy for bylaws, long ago stormed up the driveway, his loafers clicking like a metronome. "Step back, Buttercup," Tom warned, his voice low but steady. Victor, undeterred, kicked the fence's bottom slat, snapping it clean off. That's when the world tilted. Behind the broken wood stood Goliath, a 1,800-pound bull. With eyes like burning coals, Tom had won him in a drunken charity auction egged on by Clara's dare. What started as a lark had become a daily ritual of hay bales and a strange bond with a beast that once flipped a delivery truck. Goliath didn't like strangers. He really didn't like Victor. 5 seconds later, Victor's golf cart, a gleaming symbol of his petty reign, was airborne, crashing Gristo's prized zucchini patch. Goliath snorted a locomotive of fury as Sophie's live stream exploded. Comments flooded in Team Goliath. "Is this scripted? That cart deserved it." The Hayes family had moved to Willow Creek to escape urban chaos, not to ignite a suburban uprising, but chaos clung to Tom like dust to a saddle. Clara's rooftop garden and alpaca yoga classes didn't help Sophie's viral account. Suburban shenanigans turned their quirks into a spectacle. Victor, meanwhile, was a dictator in khakis. His HOA ruled with an iron fist. No wind chimes, no lawn gnomes, and definitely no livestock. Tom had pointed out a loophole in the charter legacy agricultural zoning, but Victor didn't care. He loathed the Hayeses for their messy, joyful defiance, a stark contrast to his life of spreadsheets and solitude. The fallout was immediate. Victor, limping and seething, returned with a police officer and a citation longer than a grocery list. Trespassing, dangerous livestock, unauthorized fencing, even emotional disturbance. Tom squinted at the paper. "You can't cite me for joy," Victor smirked. Section 12. "See, you'd be surprised." The neighborhood bust. Some rallied behind Goliath. Others whispered about safety. Sophie stream, HOA tyrant versus our bull hit. 20,000 viewers in hours. Clara, sipping chamomile on the porch, watched the chaos unfold like a general surveying a battlefield. An emergency HOA meeting was called, set for the community center between spin class and bridge club. Tom dug up the charter. Clara printed photos of their fences, original permit. Sophie crafted a slideshow with Goliath and aviators and dramatic violin music over pizza and beer. Sophie turned serious. "Dad, what if they force us out?" Tom glanced at the splintered fence, then at his family. "Then Goliath pleads our case." They laughed, but the air grew heavy. This wasn't just about a fancy, it was about freedom in a world obsessed with sameness. By dawn, Goliath had vanished. Whether he'd leaped a hedge or melted into the woods, no one knew. The HOA bulletin board, usually reserved for bake sales, now sported a wanted Goliath. The menace poster with a blurry screenshot. Tom sat at the kitchen table in a flannel robe, plotting search routes on a neighborhood map. Clara skimmed Victor's latest finds, including one for psychological disruption. Sophie's followers doubled overnight with memes of Goliath. Smashing HOA signs trending. Tom had an idea, crowdsourced the search. The Find Goliath campaign took off. Kids on scooters scoured trails. A drone nerd offered aerial scans. Clips surfaced Goliath nibbling a sprinkler at 3 a.m. staring through a window at a cooking show. He wasn't malicious, just elusive, maybe even cunning. Tom dubbed him the Houdini of hooves. While Clara wondered if he outsmarted the HOA board, Victor Quirkus Rogue Bull, Victor's nickname, fence kicker Grayson, stuck. He went rogue, staking out the Hayes' home from a minivan with binoculars and off. He even tried intercepting a delivery, claiming it held illegal feed only to get pepper sprayed. Clara's cousin Ethan, a conspiracy buff with a drone obsession, joined the haunt. Sporting cargo shorts and a tinfoil hat vibe, Ethan arrived with infrared gear and a theory about Goliath's cosmic purpose. By dusk, the search party, Tom on an ATV, Sophie on a bike, Ethan in a truck, combed the woods. Clara coordinated from home, fielding tips and dodging reporters. A groundskeeper reported hoof prints in a golf course sand trap, plus a dented cart. At midnight, a call came. Goliath was spotted by a quarry shed, still as stone. They raced over flashlights, cutting through fog. Hoof prints littered the ground, circling a scorched patch of earth. A metallic hum pulsed below. In the center lay one of Goliath's horn caps. Hot to the touch, Sophie whispered, "This isn't just about a bull anymore." The HOA meeting was a circus. Victor, in a cardigan that screamed control, presented a dossier of blurry photos and a photoshopped image of Goliath spitting flames. Tom stood holding a single page. Victor trespassed. "He kicked my fence, provoked my bull, and cried foul when it fought back. If I punched your cat, you'd expect claws." Murmurs of agreement rippled. Clara waved a laminated charter clause proving livestock rights. Sophie stole the show. "You let one guy terrorize us over hedge heights and paint swatches." Goliath said, "No, you're mad because you didn't." The room erupted in applause. Victor's grip on his folder tightened, his authority crumbling. Back home, Ethan arrived with drone footage of the quarry. The hatch was open, pulsing with faint light. Hoof prints too large for cows ringed it. The Hayes geared up and drove to the site. Goliath stood at the hatch, locking eyes with Tom before descending. They followed into a damp tunnel, walls lined with dead wires. In a vast chamber, a massive machine hummed, surrounded by shattered tanks and unreadable symbols. Goliath bellowed and the machine roared to life. Lights flared, then Ethan's hired tracker, a silent man named Shade, repelled and tranquilizer gun raised. "Step back, target's compromised." Tom pleaded, "He's not attacking, he's protecting something." Shade fired. Goliath charged, not at Shade, but the machine. The chamber shook, light blinding, walls collapsing. Tom woke in rubble, Clara pulling him free. Ethan muttered about machine sentience. Sophie filmed dust swirling. They crawled out to a changed world, violet skies, warm earth. Goliath stood in a field flanked by three creatures, no longer bulls, but something angular, deliberate. He led them into the woods, not fleeing but advancing. The EPA sealed the site, blaming a gas leak. Willow Creek emptied out houses, abandoned air heavy with unease. Victor vanished, his home empty. Rumors of custody or obsession. The Hayes relocated to a rural farmhouse. Tom brewed beer. Clara pinned a memoir. Sophie's Goliath saga went viral. The hatch site grew wild, pulsing faintly. One dawn, Tom saw Goliath by the fence, eyes blazing, then gone. Behind a hill, a new scorched patch hit a metal plate with alien symbols. Tom kept silent. Goliath wasn't just a bull, was a warning. The door was open and something was awake.